Okay, it's joining and it's recording, and now I think we can start. Educational Monday Club Success Plan. Wow, it looks like we are here for success. What do you think? Yes. So my first question is, have you ever participated in creating Club Success Plan? Who has? Can you show it with your reaction? With a thumb up. Asha has, Joanna has, anybody else? And Tatiana, okay.
So.
So people have, all right, okay. What I love telling my students that I work with, because my basic occupation is a teacher, and my second occupation is a Toastmaster, my third is a coach, and the next is a mother and wife, and many, many roles that we all have in our life. My name is Olga Turek-Woźniak. I have the pleasure to be with you today. I have been in many roles, and I have written many success plans for club, for area, for division, because I took different roles. And from my perspective, it's important that we create one. What's your opinion? Is it why should we do it? Why should we bother and spend time to think of it and to in fact write it? Why? What's your opinion?
Because
Please.
when it's written, it's easier to follow. You know what to do when you know the next steps.
It's easier to follow when it's written. Okay. You have a map in front of you.
Yes, right.
Okay, for your journey over the year. What else?
You have all your team members involved.
You have all team members involved. And Andrea?
Yeah, what Tatiana said, we have a way what we have to achieve over the years. We cannot do everything at one point, but we can plan the steps. And together we are then able to achieve them.
These are very important words. Together we are able to achievement. And it's a great magic that's happening, that's part of leadership. When you want to achieve something, you need to have this together in mind. Otherwise, it will be a hard year for you. If you think, yes, I'm the pulling horse and I will just pull the whole club on my back, yes? Then
it's kind of, it's beginning with the end in mind. You create a map for success to say where you would like to be at the end of the year, and charting out the club success plan and helps you get there.
Denison, thank you. So we have the picture. Yes, that's where we want to be at the end. Okay, and personally for you, why would you get involved in writing the club success plan? And today, why have you arrived here? What's in it for you? Can you give me some clues?
Yeah, I think it's similar. It's like you as the president, you have a clear vision what you want to achieve, but you also get the commitment of your team to achieve it with you. So as you said, you don't just pull this card by yourself. You have the whole team who committed and decided and was involved. So I guess it is for also your own success as the president of the club. And for me personally, I'm meeting tomorrow actually with my team to discuss that. So it's perfect timing to.
Okay, very well. I'm glad you decided to do it, to create the club success plan. And so you are strongly motivated, Marzena. Any other people? What's in it for you?
Well, this is my first training. So first of all, I would like to get an idea of what's going on and how the plan is getting created, and also I would like to get some technical tips in how to use the system and how to upload it and what's the best way to do and so on and so forth.
Okay. Hello, Upik or Yupik. Hello, great to be here. How do we?
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I'm a bit too late, but it was very difficult with the connection. I was trying since 15 minutes, but now I'm successful. Thank you.
Okay, we are just
nice to see all of you here.
Great. Hello, welcome. Be with us and learn with us. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so there are different motivations. Basically, we want some techniques, but among us, I see a few very, very experienced Toastmasters and possibly And you can see it even from the way they describe themselves. Like Denison is a DTM. I'm sure she has written many club success plans. Francesco Fedele, he is involved in higher levels in our organization. I'm absolutely sure he knows a lot about it. So I'm really grateful that you are here with us. And if only you can suggest things and support us with your experience, we will really appreciate it. So how I'm planning to create this knowledge and experience for us is going to take few very simple steps. We are going to get some positive surprise and look the club success plan in the eyes and see how it works. And then, Gerardo, I will give you a voice in a second. Then we will speak about particular areas. What is included, what is not included, where is there space for something else, and we will exchange opinions. So as a matter of fact, I haven't created a 40 slides presentation for you. I'm really counting on your active participation, because together means we are stronger and we can share our experiences. Yes, Gerardo, you wanted to add something. I'm very happy to.
Yes, I actually just wanted to say the following, because important to mention now from this year, there is a new template. In the past, we have even other template that it was even longer to develop, and it has been already like improved. So instead of having, I don't know, 8 pages, we'll have only 5 or 4. I don't remember the exact number, but it has a lot of improvements, and I really like it. It's really a nice way to do it.
That's exactly true. And thank you, Gerardo. However, your promises were too promising. It's not 5 pages, it's much more, but it used to be 23 pages, so it's much shorter. Club Success Plan.
Exactly.
I'm going to share with you the link where you can find it and take it directly from Toastmasters.org, from our platform. And it's already in the chat, so please open the chat and copy the link, because if you haven't started writing it yet with your club, or if you have clubs when you are an area director that you can still suggest, come on guys, write it till the end of August and get the Strategic Leadership Award. If you are from our district, we have this award this year for a few things. We will also discuss it by the end of the meeting. Here it is, and I'm going to share the screen with you, so that we can look it in the eye and see what is there. And I'm going to ask you some questions, and we will just have more understanding of it. Can you see my screen now? Yes. Is it big enough or it's too small for you?
It is good for my side.
It is.
I think it's good.
Okay, so as we start, we look through the very document that we have there. And now, at the very beginning, they immediately tell you that we have goals to achieve. Of course, a club is an independent entity of its own and has goals for themselves. But there are certain goals which guarantee that your club is on a good level, that your club goes with the mission of Toastmasters, that you create this friendly atmosphere where people grow, where they learn, that there is respect and there are other values like excellence, and it's all illustrated here with the goals to achieve. And then you've got the names of recognition that you can earn. So immediately, this is one of our goals to get and to become a distinguished club, maybe select distinguished or president's distinguished club. It's good to discuss it with people. When I was a club president, I thought, well, okay, DCP points, we are working towards gaining them, and we were working with the club officers according to our club success plan. However, when we presented the DCP points and what it means when we achieve them to our members, some people really got motivated because they said, wow, so somebody else there also plays with these points and also tries to achieve more. So it motivates me. So I haven't had this motivation to make new speeches, but now, yes, I will, because I see we need this one more goal in education, for example. And you've got it described here. They are also presented in the Toastmasters.org website. There is the Distinguished Club Program page, and there is the 10 goals for education, for membership, for training, and for administration. I'm not going to discuss this in more detail because these are quite obvious. When you look through them, you will see that you need a few levels of separate awards for growing in pathways to achieve it. And then for membership, we still have in the DCP program 4 new dual or reinstating members, 4 more new dual or reinstating members. However, for the club to become a distinguished club, they have changed the rule, and we will see if it is presented somewhere here, that the club needs to have 20 members or a net growth of 5. It used to be like that. They have changed it this year, that the net growth may be of 3. I don't know if it's good or bad. I think it's something that came out of the situation after the pandemics, when it was more difficult with our membership. Okay, and so the first page of our club success plan is easy to complete. As you can see, we only write the program year, club number, and we go. And then the second page, and point number 1, is something that people used to skip. And very often they said, okay, what's next? Because club executive committee values, what's that, and why should we really discuss it? Have you ever completed this part when you were doing your club success plans? Those people who have already written club success plans with your other club officers.
Recently, we've been using that more often. I find that I'm a part of a new club that's pretty small, and this year we used this page.
Oh, Dennis, congrats! And has it proven handy, useful that you have written it down?
Most definitely, because with each decision, you come back to this. Before finalizing a decision, you want to confirm that it fits within the club's values.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. It's important. So our values are a little bit like the road signs. They say green, yellow, or red. Yes, this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. And values this is the part of us that it's very difficult to change, that it's very difficult to sometimes to understand that we behave in certain way because of our values. The moment we realize what they are and we name them, it's much easier to make certain decisions in the club. Just like Dennis has said, they compare the club decision if the decision agrees with the values, and it works. To give you a practical example, just last year, I was vice president membership in my club. And during creating the club success plan, we stopped. And of course, it was me who was telling my people, come on, this is really important. We need to really put it down. What are our values? So we started thinking, and everyone gave 1 or 2 ideas of themselves. What is the most important for them? For me, it was respect. For our vice president PR, it was having fun and friendship. And these were her 2 most important values. There was another club officers committee member, and it was our administration manager, and his values were order and procedures. These are the most important things for him. And now imagine the situation. The lady whose values were fun and friendship, she decided that she will take the role of responsibility for organizing club speech contest, humorous speech contest. And she told the people that they should sign up for the contest and they should come and tell her that they would like to be judges and so on. It's a small club that I belong to, 15 people in here right now. Nobody said a word to her. And so a day before the contest, we had a meeting, private meeting with the whole club, or it was 2 days before the contest. She said to everybody at the party that there is not going to be any contest because nobody said they would like to participate. And then the man to whom the procedures are very important said, come on, it's absolutely impossible that we don't organize a contest. Contest is something a club has to go through. It is your fault that you didn't look at the deadlines, and they started quarreling. And if they didn't know that he takes all the procedures very seriously and that she is the fun lover, easygoing person, they probably would fight for a long time and it would end in a high conflict. However, they cooled down and he said to her, look, I know you love fun, but we need to get down to work because the contest is tomorrow and we will have it. And she said, I'm sorry, I think I took it too easily and I was not serious about it. And now I see it's my responsibility and I really should have done better, but I will help you. With the help of the values, it was much easier for them. When I was an area director, we also have this point in area club success plan, area success plan. And my other club presidents, they shared their values. And when we ended the whole year and we were giving a summary, one of the club presidents told me, you know, Olga, it was so important for me that my values were here in this box, here, because I felt I belong. I felt I am respected, and I felt what is important for me will be important for the other people here. So my suggestion is that you really take it maximum seriously, spend time. It's difficult for people at the beginning to say what their values are. Maybe they were never asked openly this question. This is something that is very deep in us. But the moment they realize what's important to them and it comes to the open air and we can put it down here in our club success plan, it's going to work for us. Any questions, any observations about this point from your side? Hearing no.
From my side, if I can, may I say something?
Yes, please, Gerardo.
For example, Olga, for the committee values, yes, normally we follow the ones that are the right? The ones of Toastmasters, but always like also to add some new ones as well. That, for example, to be friendly. That is also to create that in our part that also have it as a value. Add like a new one that apart from the Toastmasters core values, we have another one. It's always also very good and helpful for that.
Thank you. So it works for you when you name it and when people know what is important for you, what your values are. It helps you as a team. Okay, point 2 in our club success plan, club executive committee interactions. Look, we haven't planned yet any successes. We are planning how we are going to operate. And there are very important questions here. How will decisions be made? Can you give some suggestions? How can they be made?
By the voting.
Who is going to vote?
All members of the team.
Justina says all members of the team. We had a situation like that last year, that our club president wanted all members of our club to decide on absolutely everything. And it was very hard to lead in this way, because this absolute democracy made all decision to take a long time. Sometimes we need to decide quickly. Sometimes we need to make up our minds and say, yes, we will take this challenge, or no, we will not accept something. So for that reason, it's important to decide. And it's of course up to you and your officers how you agree. The moment you put it down here, it's clear for everyone that if we want, we even have in our club success plan here the information that if the treasurer gets a claim from members for club expenses that is higher than 100 zlotys, which is about 30 euros or 25 euros, then it has to be consulted with the club president. And otherwise, the club treasurer is free to accept expenses from members. So this is also put here because with it, we've got some clarity. How will you resolve differences of opinion? Another extremely crucial question. This can lead into a serious conflict in a club if we don't agree and if we don't later respect what we have agreed on here. How can we resolve differences of opinion? What do you think?
I would say through a conversation. If there is no conversation, it's very hard to resolve any differences.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you
really
say
get to know.
Conversation, it's about listening and expressing your view also.
Yeah, and giving space and time for this conversation to happen. I think that is also quite important.
Mm-hmm. Okay, conversation, what else? Is there any other way? Has anything come to your mind?
I think like I saw someone saying a third party mediator. It's important to have an independent view in there as a third party mediator while that conversation is going on, to ensure that there's someone who brings balance to the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's a very good suggestion. Thank you, Denison. So we can engage a mediator if there is a powerful conversation going on, heated conversation. What we have decided is that there will be many times when we will not absolutely agree 100%. So then we have put down the procedure of voting. Club executive committee votes, and we decided how many votes there should be for yes, for something to be decided on. And this really is very helpful. If people are absent at a club executive committee meeting, then they can, it depends on your club. In my club, it's been done in this way that we can assign our vote to the member who will be there, or we can phone in from home. Now with the modern media, it's possible not to be physically present and still be present through some telephone or Zoom meeting or in another way, and still vote, for example. How will the club executive committee be held accountable for its responsibilities? And this is the moment when people who have taken the role in the club executive committee for the first time, when they are club officer for the first time, when they say, oh, okay, so I will be held accountable and I am responsible for something. For some people, it's a moment of surprise, because they sometimes choose to be in among the officers for the glory, for the fame of it, for being with great leaders. But here is physical work to be done by you as a club officer, and you should be responsible for it. So what do you suggest here? If we could give some suggestions here, just brainstorm some ideas, or share how it is done in your clubs.
I think, can I say, I think backing up each other is very important. And that's one of the ways to have the things done, to keep the entire club executive committee accountable for what the committee does.
Mm-hmm.
So my first suggestion is just to have a thorough, valuable backing up system ready.
Okay, it's very useful, and it should be somewhere here that if somebody doesn't manage to do something, then there will be somebody who will give the backup, yes, and take up the role. What else? How can we be held accountable for our responsibilities and other people, our other officers? A very simple thing that we have decided on that, and we practice it for many years now in my club, is that every month we meet once a month. If it is necessary, then more often if something comes up and it's extremely important, but once a month is the regular officers meeting. And then the beginning of the meeting is sharing information. What have we done? What haven't we done? And then these are rounds. So people say, everybody says what they have already done from the things they have planned for this year, what they still need help with, what they struggle with, what haven't they managed to do. And then we think together what we can do to make it better. The moment you share your work is also the moment when you may feel appreciated for what you have done. It's very often like that club officers work, they are very busy and nobody in the club sees it. And when we share what we've done during these regular meetings, then it's really easier for us to be appreciated and valued for our work. And also for other members to really have this kind of orientation of what's going on here. All right, so as you can see, it is still under the committee values. And then have we got it? Yes. We got member engagement. And there is a question of moments of truth. Are you familiar with moments of truth? Have you ever used this tool? Has anybody used it? Yes, Denison, you have. Can you tell us if it was of any help?
Sure, because you get to understand how the members feel about what is going on in the club. The Moments of Truth it's a Toastmasters program where we use to deliver a survey to the club members, asking about how they feel about different aspects of the club program. And from that, we get an idea of whether or not what we're doing is achieving the objective and being a success for the club and helping the members to grow. Because as we say in Toastmasters, the club only grows when the members grow.
Thank you. This is a fantastic sentence. The club only grows when the members grow. I will give you an example how the Moment of Truth was organized in one of the clubs that I have attended as an area director. I arrived there and we sat together with the club, and the club decided, because there was a serious conflict going on in the club, two members were very hostile towards one another. And one of them was attacking publicly the other. So there was a serious matter. It really was undermining the whole atmosphere of the club. And the club president asked me for help as an area director then a few years ago, and we did Moments of Truth. It's a long questionnaire, it has maybe 20 or 30 questions, and there you answer how it feels to you, what is good about, for example, about guests, about members' engagement, and what can be done to be improved. And it somewhere there, it came out. People started speaking openly. Finally, they started speaking openly about it, that there is this conflict and that they are very unhappy about it. One person involved in the conflict was constantly attacking another. The other was constantly staying away, not reacting, being passive, kind of hiding like the snail into the shell. And it was really, really hard for all the members. And they said, openly to the one who was attacking, you have to stop it, because we do not come here to listen to you attacking our friend. You have also arrived here to learn and to grow, and you need to show it with your behavior. Otherwise, we will take some serious steps. And it was very, very, very good experience for all club members. It was like a shower. It just made them be more open, remove this atmosphere of something going on underground. They could finally openly speak about the situation in the club. It gave them a very good perspective. So I highly recommend that you do. And the moments of truth, here there are here were the questions. The next page is about education. Why did they give us this number of goals? Please don't limit yourself. And if your club members are active, you will probably get many, many more than these. However, for the club to be a good quality club, it's important that we, as vice president's membership, that we motivate people, and all the officers, they show being active and also taking roles and doing speeches and going through these different pathways levels, that we are growing. This is something visible that shows that there is a lot of good work going on in the club. And then you may be surprised, why is this 4 levels 1 and maybe only 2 level goals from level 2. 2 people need to complete level 2, 2 people need to complete level 3, and 2 people need to complete level 4. And then I will just scroll up a little bit. Okay, there is also goal 5 and 6. And can anyone find any justification? Why is it like that? That goal 1, there should be 4 and there are less for the other levels. Does it make any sense to you?
Not directly for me. I was wondering why it's this way.
I also thought this is surprising, and why should we have so many level 1 achievements? And the answer comes from the number of people who stay in our club for the next year. It comes out that out of every club in Toastmasters regularly, 54% are there next year. 54, it's the retention rate for generally in Toastmasters. It means a few things, 54%. It means that if you have 20 members in your club now, probably 9 out of them will not be there next year. That's really sad, but this is the statistics. And probably when you think about the situation in your club, you will see that it is like that. That some people come for a short time goal. They only come because they want to learn how to give a speech at their sister's wedding. Or they have another reason like that, or they want to marry a woman and they want to say some beautiful things to her, and they just want to learn this one speech that will really make it his wife, yes, and make it the day. And because of that, they stay for a very short time. That's why there will be many people who will be doing the first levels. There will be less people in the club, fewer people in the club who will go higher and do the next levels. I cannot share with you the current statistics about how many people really complete the path that they have started, but this is not a huge number. When we had the old program, it was 1 out of 10 Toastmasters completed the CC program, 1 out of 10. It takes time, it takes engagement, and that's why we've got less of goals from level 2 and from level 3, and even less from level 4. And you can see this is a path completion or DTM. Educational goals. And below, you've got, and here you've got member name. So this is this is the physical work of club officer who is responsible for education, vice president education. He needs or she needs to go through Basecamp and check who is where. And the trick that often happens for clubs which use EasySpeak, does your club use it, the EasySpeak system? You do. Very often. It happened in my club. I'm now the VPE, so I know it myself. People take the projects and they write it in the agenda in EasySpeak and they completely forget about Basecamp and it is not there. But for our club to be recognized, it has to be in the Basecamp, and when they complete a level, they need to send it to Vice President Education, and Vice President Education needs to confirm that the level is completed, and then also it needs to be included in another page, in Club Central page on Toastmasters.org. So it's quite a complicated procedure. I hope it will get easier in the future. If our club success plan got easier, it will also, but it takes time, and it's very important that your VPE really takes responsibility for it. Otherwise, people will do projects, they will give speeches, and it will not be included here. And your club will not be recognized, which I think it's not a good idea. If you work, why shouldn't you get the recognition for your work? Any questions here or observations? Okay, let's move on then. And all right, so we have analyzed in the club who can achieve which levels of pathways, and then you've got strategies and tactics. And here is the space where you can also use the moments of truth here and what conclusions people gave you there to really lean down and look closely at these questions. What obstacles keep members from completing projects? When you think about your club members, what obstacles are there?
I think for most members, it's time.
Mm-hmm.
There are other priorities that take space, and then they plan to give a speech, but in the end, they don't, or they have to reschedule, or they have to cancel, or something like that happens.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so time is an obstacle. Anything else? Looking from my perspective, my country, from Poland, we've got many Polish Toastmasters clubs, and many members don't use English that well and that much. And for them to navigate through Basecamp and get down to the project, it's difficult. We now have some translations, but this is only of level 1 of pathways, and the others are still in the process of being translated. So it can also be a language problem for completing projects. So question 2 here, what are some ways to motivate members to progress through the education program? Let's brainstorm some ideas. What can we do to motivate people to really go through and proceed and grow with pathways? What do you think?
If I look into my club, do people not understand what is really pathways, or they not know how it has to be completed so that they achieve the level 1, for example. I think the knowledge is missing when I look into my club.
Okay, so what I take from you now is that if we want to motivate them, we need to teach them more, give them the information about pathways, how to operate in Basecamp.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the first point, because they not see how the achievements will be tracked, because they have no clue about it.
Mm-hmm. All right. How can we do it physically in our club? Make people more familiar with pathways. Can you think of some ideas?
Maybe some info sessions during a regular meeting, like before prepared speeches, there could be a VP education could have a small speech about how to make a pathway. I mean, how to navigate.
Yes, yes, thank you. It's a very, very useful tip that we can use some space during the meeting to do it, right? Any other suggestions here?
Maybe it's not also connected to the time during the meeting, but maybe some PowerPoint presentation with the step-by-step of the pathways and how we should, coordinate on the websites where we should check something or where we can, simply check information, what is going on there directly, because, sometimes when you have a meeting at, I know, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and you just finished, 8, 9, 10 hours in the office, and you are extremely tired, but you would like to, go to the meeting and receive something from that, your brain is not working and it's not, connected to you because this was, awful day, your boss was yelling and so on and so on. So you cannot just focus, even if you really want to, but you just can't. So maybe some presentation would be also beneficial, and it could take you, to your private, computer. You have, day off or 30 minutes of free time, and you can just, coordinate with, okay, so I should click on that side, and that's what I will receive or something like that. And it will be also beneficial to those people whose English is not so well, as it will be more visual way to do it. Just, at the top of my head.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, Justyna, to send them some kind of presentation. There are some ready-made materials for that. We've got them in our district in English. We've got them in Polish. In my club, we've got a few films which are educational trainings on how to log on Basecamp, how to work with the first projects, and what to do. Very often people are very happy that yes, they have learned, they have read the project, they have prepared the speech, and whoops, they forget to mark it in the Basecamp. And again, it comes up, we don't have the points for education from it. So it's important. And this is also a huge space for help and support for a mentor. If our new members have mentors, and mentors take it seriously, they should meet with them in front of their computer screens and really lead them through the Basecamp, help them to learn to navigate it. It's always easy when you don't know something and you immediately can ask someone. So engagement of mentors is important. And here is even a question: who will be responsible for showing them around Basecamp? In my club, as I'm the vice president education, I show people around Basecamp. I organize a special session. If we have one new member, it's only one-to-one. If we've got a few who have joined at a similar time, we meet together and we work on it. And then they open it and they ask any questions they have. Okay, a lot about education. Now something for VPMs, membership goals. And here we've got this information, although it's a very new club success plan because it was only printed in June 2022. This information here is a little bit changed. For your club to be eligible to participate in the recognition program, your club must have either 20 paid members or a net growth of at least 5 new members as of June the 30th. Do you understand the meaning of the word net growth? What does it mean technically? Can somebody explain in a simple way?
More people who join than those who are leaving.
Mm-hmm. Okay, can we have one more explanation?
The net growth is basically, okay, we count the base that we have of members. If we have 10, this is our 10, and we start with this. If we grow 3 or more, is when they are mentioning, okay, if we have 13 or 15 at the end of the year, it means that we grow 3 or 5 growth, net growth.
Mhm. Yes, thank you, Gerardo. Thank you, Gerardo. So if our club only has 10 members at the beginning, on the 1st of July 2022, then we will be included in the recognition program if by the June the 30th, 2023, we have 15 new members or 20 new members or anything between 15 and 20. But it often happens that the club has 15 and a year later they also have 15, although they have accepted 8 members, because you have it always at the back of your head that this fluctuation is going on. People are coming and leaving for different reasons, for personal reasons, work, and so on. So strategies. What is your club's plan to motivate its current members to renew? And then look at this, what is your club's plan to gain new members? Very often what we do is we only concentrate on gaining new members. However, the real resource that we have are the people whom we have right here in our club. So what would you suggest? How can we motivate our people in our clubs that they renew? What can be this motivational factor for them?
I think for some people, it's continuing on the path that they started. So growing further, going for new projects and starting up new levels and pathways and completing them. So this sense of completion can be a reason for some people to continue because they started something, they don't want to leave it halfway through, and they just want to see the projects finished. And for some people, it's honestly also the social factor and the friendships and the fun and just the fact that these are people that are inspiring and listening to the speeches of inspiring people is a way is their preferred way of spending their time. So it can be also fun and inspiration that is in the club, if it is in the club. So you can find it during meetings. I think the quality of meetings is also a way to keep members coming back and to basically attract them and to make them not want to give up their spot, let's say, in the club, if the club is a big one.
Thank you, Marzena. It's very valuable what you said. And then when we think about our club, something that some people may answer quickly, motivational factor is club's quality. But then, okay, what is this quality? It's everything, really, everything that is in moments of truth, everything that is included in every meeting, how well it is planned, how good are the speeches, how long it takes, how people prepare, is there any variety so that it doesn't get boring and predictable that every week is the same. A lot of things you can include here for your current members to renew. I know that older clubs put themselves into this trap that, we are advanced Toastmasters. Come on, when we give our evaluations, let's forget about the sandwich recipe for success. We only are going to give the suggestions and point out all the things that were wrong in the speeches. That's the attitude I met in many clubs. I have visited advanced clubs. And what happens? It's not really that motivating. Everyone needs this element of recognition for your efforts and showing that you have achieved something and hearing that your time that you spent preparing the speech was worth it. Because if you only will get this negative feedback, yes, if you are very emotionally immune, it will be helpful. and it will show you the points that you still need to work on. But if there is very little positive feedback included, it's going to drain you of your motivation. It's important to suggest this to people when you hear them only giving a lot of negative stuff in their evaluations. Like they come into stage and they say, my evaluation is like double burger without any bread. Okay, so we expect that there will be a lot of negative feedback to the person. It's one of the things. And in fact, the strategies and tactics that you will put here depend very much on the situation in your club. In one club, people are very motivated, they are very proactive, we are working on it. I don't want to say it's very good, but it's improved a lot. People get proactive and they go into the Easy Speak, they sign up for roles. It is much easier every week for the Toastmaster of the evening to organize everything. This is something we've been working on over a longer time. It doesn't happen in a night, just like that. From tomorrow, everyone will just sign up for the roles and there will be no work for the Toastmaster of the evening or something else. So strategies and tactics, and then plan to gain new members. Can you share anything that you have heard of or you have done yourself in your club and that it really brought new members? Give us some ideas so that we can maybe take something from our experience and bring it back to our club.
Yeah, I believe this is really a situation depending on the size of the club and also on the legacy and history of the club.
Mm-hmm.
I am in such a lucky situation that my club has had a big history and there's a lot of very accomplished Toastmasters that are in the alumni or still members. So when people come or hear that this is the club where this and this Toastmaster is from, or they just meet those people and they're so inspired and they have a feeling, oh, I want to speak one day like that. This is a lot of times enough of the motivation for having actually quite some guests. But I know this is not the situation that most clubs have, and a lot of them struggle with gaining new members if they are not big clubs and already having some history in or longer legacy that they can show and they can just demonstrate. So yeah, I wouldn't. My advice wouldn't be, I think, applicable to the smaller clubs or those who are just starting or just chartered or.
It's still good for bigger clubs. Thank you, Marzena. And when yes, Gerardo, please.
Yes, thank you very much.
Zbyszek, hello.
Hello. I'm also from one of the biggest club in Poland. And I also believe that what is the most important is to support new members, because when they come to the meetings, they are a little bit like a newborn baby. They observe these big sharks and they say, I never get this level. I will never be a speaker of such level. So most of clubs make such mistakes. Like for example, in table topics, they always choose these speakers which are already experienced. Never mind, newcomers have mistakes, but she has right to make mistakes. So what I suggest to everybody to support guests, to support newcomers, to not have such feeling, I will never get such level. And that really make these people confused.
Thank you, Zbyszek. It's very important. And it's important that it is verbally expressed during the meeting. We are not here to compare us to the best in the clubs. Compare yourself to what your skills were like half a year ago. Have you made an improvement in the way you communicate? And many people, and this is also something you can suggest, some people do. If you see that some members have improved a lot, why don't they create a speech about how they feel now, and has it given them anything? They've been in the club for half a year, and usually the first half a year is the time of the fastest growth of our members, because the new skills they gain, they make a dramatic change in their everyday life, in their communication. Later on, the steps it's much more difficult to see the advancement. It takes time, it takes more effort, and it's not so spectacular. But if they shared it with the new members or the guests, what they have learned, how they have improved, it will be also of great value, I think. And when we have a guest in our meeting in a club, we always try to engage the guest so that we can hear him say something, maybe during the question at the beginning, maybe during the hot topics. And then we try to give them some feedback. When people hear feedback, either that they can do something or that they could improve here or there, they also feel more motivated to come. They see, okay, I only came as a guest and already there was something valuable for me in it. There are huge things you can plan, like taking part in events, in your local events. My club has taken part a few times in the cultural night. Every year in my city, we have a night when a lot of things connected with culture go on. All the museums are open, there are a lot of concerts and other things. And we were quite skeptical, but we did it 3 times and with very little effect. At least we had fun for ourselves. We created a special meeting where we only presented speeches and we had some hot topics. And finally, just before the pandemics, when the last cultural night was organized here, we got a fantastic room in the town hall, really beautiful, where we had our event, and the room was full. And 5 people decided to join the club after this meeting. So it was worth the effort, painstaking, and we built this for a long time, but finally we got it. So it's good to plan something, but of course it's up to you. Some activities like demo meeting, dynamic demo meeting, they are very good. Kick off, these are very good, but also making sure that your members realize this is something we are all responsible for. Membership is not only the mission of our vice president membership and let him do the job and bring us all the people. This is the work of all of us. And it's even good when the vice president membership steps up at the end of the meeting and says, if you like the meeting, then bring your friends to the next one. Let them see what we do here and learn with us and be with us, experience it. And that's something people often forget, that basically membership grows the fastest if we use our connections, if we invite people that we know. Okay, membership, it's a long story. Now, training goals, and here you've got first round and second round of trainings, and only you put here the names of the club officers and whether they have trained or not. Try to motivate people. There are still some final COTs going on around in our district and others, so that they really will get the knowledge. And there are also points. What are some ways to motivate officers to attend an officer training session? What would you suggest? In my club, and Zbyszek is my division director, and he's very worried about my club because it's an old club with traditions and only 3 members have so far been to a COT. What would you suggest? How to motivate our other club officers? What worked when you motivated some of your people? Any tips here?
I hope you don't ask me.
If you have some ideas, Zbyszek, come on and share them.
Well, what I was trying during all COT, all our officer trainings, I just like have a speech about what Toastmasters can give you, not what we can take from Toastmasters. And as you remember, we had 3 COT, each of area, and people were interesting. What really I am worrying about Częstochowa club And really, I am asking myself what is going wrong that people don't like to be trained. That is something which is not only obligation, but also a piece of knowledge which they have to have. So it's a good question. Why they don't like it? Second, or answering for your question is how to attract them. I think that if they start to be in the board, they have to understand this is a service work for other club members. So it's not question of privilege. It's not question of they will or to do or not to do. It's a must. Sorry to say it. Maybe I am coming as an ex-president of a big corporation, and sometimes you have to just press people, and this is their obligation, and they have to understand it.
It's very, very true what you say. Gerardo, thank you for your insights. I appreciate both of them, and they show different ways to getting to our goal, which is having people trained, because then they will serve us better. And for some people, it's the first time. They joined the officers, they went through the elections procedure because they wanted to be there, but now they finally see that this is really work, that this is work for other people and serving them. Marzena, you wanted to comment. Can we hear you?
Yes, what I wanted to say is that I think for me, an important thing when I'm speaking to my team is also to make them aware it's a chance to get to know other people in the area, in the division that are in the same role. So it's about connecting and finding who else is there and who actually can, maybe they can help each other sometimes. And it's just good to know who else is in those roles in other clubs and make new connections. That's one thing. And other, of course, they are able to learn from someone who has walked that path already and who can share a lot of tips and tricks on how to make this work manageable and easier, or some lessons learned and so on. So I think that it's I agree also with Vishak here that this is something that is a prerequisite for making a job, like doing well your job, because otherwise how would you know what exactly belongs to this role? Just by reading is a little bit difficult. It's I think there's a lot of information that is not written in the manuals and in the descriptions, and this can only be found through talking to people who have walked the path before and who can share. So I believe this is a great opportunity. And in my division and district, oftentimes this is paired with TLI, so Team or Toastmasters Leadership Institute. So at the same time, there are some workshops. And so it's not only the training of officers, but there are also workshops that are for personal growth and for, well, on a variety of topics. So I think that that also can be attractive, just simply for, if it's done in person, there's even more chances to meet new people and create new connections. If it's online, it's also possible to some extent, of course, but it is different if you can meet in person as well. And you can just meet new friends in Toastmasters. And then whenever you go for the next division contest or district conference, you suddenly know many more people there. So I think that for some people, this is also, the social factor is something that they look for, because they join Toastmasters also to be inspired by people, get to know other people, make friends, not only just for the personal growth, it's also for the social factors for some people.
Yes, very important. All of these clues are very important. If I was my club president, and if it was a few months ago, and if we had this meeting in June and not now, probably I would put it all together and really make the new officers go there. Motivate them, not make them, but motivate them to go, because there is so much value. But people need to know why they need to do something. Why should they spend time? What is there for them in it? What is there to learn? What will be the fruit of this effort? And if we show this to them, I'm sure we will have more people trained. If only the communication is limited and club president says, okay, we must go to the COT, this is the date. Can you go? Yes or no? Then possibly the new officer says, can you go? So I can go and I can stay at home. So the choice may be simple. So I will not take this effort because I don't have a free Saturday, for example. So many other things which are fun and to do at the weekend instead of getting trained. But if you say this to people and show them that this is the way you grow as a leader in our organization, and you can then take this knowledge with you wherever you go and in whatever ways you get engaged in your professional career life, professional life, then I think people will be more motivated. What else is there for us? Thank you. There were a lot of fantastic insights here. And anything else? Administration goals. And here, administration goals. Assign a responsible party. Who will be responsible for submitting the following 2 items toward headquarters on time? Membership dues, definitely. Treasurer's role here, possibly. Officer list, who will submit it? And the club needs to decide. Because it often happens that we have had the elections and the new officer list is not there in Toastmasters org. And then strategies and tactics. What obstacles does your club have in achieving its administration goals? What can be done to overcome them? So let's speak. I think officer list is quite simple. We have to assign somebody, and if they are not familiar with Toastmasters org, then possibly mentor them a bit how to do it. How about membership dues? What would you suggest for our treasurers? How can collecting membership dues be made more attractive, more sexy to people, that they can feel there is a little bit of fun there and not only taking money out of their pockets? Except, of course, I know you can say, come on, Olga, but there is this huge value, learning, experience, social networking, and all these friendships and so on. But technically, when we need to pay, can we technically do something to make it a less painful experience for our members and more enjoyable? What do you suggest?
Invest in yourself. That is the main thing. You are making aware that you are not only paying, it's an investment for you. Invest in yourself, at least very good line to make their dues.
You invest in yourself. Very good. What else? We have, for example, in my club, we have a contest for the first 8 members who pay the dues. There is a contest and they are one of them is going to be given a book. And usually it's some kind of public speaking book or leadership book, something that everyone would like to have on their bookshelf and read possibly. And this is a little bit funny. Then we have the special lottery when the first 8 people have paid their dues, and one of them is the lucky one who gets the book. And it creates some emotions, and it helps us also with, of course, if there is good quality in the club and fantastic experience and you learn a lot, you will not have a problem with renewing. But we know that there are many people who are in 2 minds. And then the factor of motivating them can also, probably a book will not motivate them to stay, but to pay the dues a little bit faster, not wait till the last day of the last month of payment, it can maybe help. Okay, we're doing very well. Haha, surprise, surprise. You probably were scared that there are 2 more pages. It's already signatures and date, so that everybody should sign it. It can be, here you also have club member and role, three spaces like that. Possibly some other people are supporting you. Maybe Vice President Education has somebody in their team. Maybe it's the master mentor or an easy speak manager or somebody else. Maybe it's somebody who is supporting Vice President membership or PR. And we can include them here. And the last page is action item worksheet. So this is really to be, just to show you, does not work right now, that we can put here directly which goal from the DCP goals we are working and who is responsible for it, and we can take some deadlines where we are going to take them. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing just to see you all back. Yes, you are very, which word to use? We are all very motivated people. We've spent a long time analyzing the club success plan. And my question is this now. Where is there space for Vice President PR, public relations? There wasn't a space, physical space for him or her and their actions. So when we sit down and discuss the plan, the PR manager may say, okay, there is nothing planned for me here. How can we overcome this trap and make PR manager also engaged? What do you think?
He is engaged to help everyone in the club to achieve the goals. Means he can help the VP membership to get new members with his ideas to prepare some posters, some flyers to be present also in the meetings, to share his experience. I think he's connected to everything, and we have to show him that he is connected and give him also some tasks in the areas from the other people or officers.
Should it, Andre, should it only be spoken, or should we maybe write something?
No, written down. For
Written
example,
down.
to go new members, a point for the VP PR, what he have to do, where he can help any internet campaign, for example, Facebook campaign, something like that.
Okay, thank you. It's very important that we notice that the administration manager and vice president PR, they don't really have extra spaces there just for them and their roles. But they should realize that, for example, administration manager should be in the constant process of making connections with places which could possibly offer a space for the club to meet. There should always be this readiness for a club to have another space to move. If something goes wrong here where we meet for free, for example, and we cannot meet here any longer, then it's his responsibility. But of course, other club members will support. Okay.
Actually, another way of BPPR can influence on this, there are actually promoting the COTs, promoting about what is DCB points, promoting about the membership dues that, it's time for doing some specific campaign for it. There is some background as well that can be influence several actions for every of the club officers in there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I also think that a bit connected to it is that VPPR can often and is often responsible for the Facebook page of the club and for social media in general. And this is how many people actually also find us. And they can see what we're doing, if the club is active, what are the kind of activities we do, what are the upcoming activities and meetings and so on. So I think there is a role in attracting new members, but also assuring the existing members that we are having quality meetings and what happened at the meeting that they were not present at, because you will have some photo reportage from it. And also any important events for the club would be put on our Facebook page. So I find that a lot of people watch it actually and comment on it and like it. And then maybe also through this, some people who are just, Googling and searching, they also find us. And then they see it's because it looks like fun. So they want to join.
Yes, and that's why it's so important to have this PR site very, very active. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me share with you a link under which you can admit your club for the Strategic Leadership Award. I'm the godmother of this award, I would say. I'm taking care of it, and if the form does not work, for some reason it's asking to log on on your Google account. If you don't have one, we will work on it. Follow us on Toastmasters District 108 on our Facebook page, and I will ask Gerardo to help me with this obstacle, and we will be able for the clubs to easily complete the form if you, like Marzena says, they are going to write this club success plan. So one thing is to complete the club success plan. Second thing is to gain 1 DCP point by the end of August, by the 31st of August. So if you have people, definitely there were meetings over summertime, these last 2 months. Are they all marked in the base camp? And has the Vice President Education marked them in the, send the award? If they did, you will see it in the DCP page in Club Central. And then the third, does any of you remember what's the third criteria? One is club success plan, 1 DCP point, except for trainings, we don't have the point yet. We still have the second round. What else is there?
7 officers trained.
Yes, that's the easiest part, the so-called easiest part. Probably it's the hardest, yes. One thing that we did this year, and I think it's very beneficial, we copied from the top what works very well there. And in my club, we organized a club boot camp directly to work on club success plan. A beautiful club success plan is written. People are really motivated to work. And because we had this booked camp, they also got motivated, those who were not yet trained, to come to the training that we are going to organize. So think about it, maybe not now, maybe you already have had a lot of meetings this year, but maybe for the next officers round to have a club boot camp, it works beautifully. I would like to finish soon, and before we say goodbye, I would like to hear 1 or 2 sentences from you. What do you take from this meeting yourself? Was there anything that you take for yourself?
Yeah, I would say in this meeting, I got all answers what I have in my plan regards to the club success plan. And I can go with Justina together into our group officer meetings, and we can prepare, I think, a good plan. And I can also translate it as an area director to the area club success plan, which we are currently working on.
Thank you. Thank you, Andre.
Hi, I joined you all the way from Nassau, Bahamas. And what I got from it is really a reinforcement of the importance of involving the entire executive team in the club's success plan, as well as getting the commitment of some of the club members to achieving those goals. And the next Toastmasters International Convention is in Nassau, Bahamas. So we're excited.
Okay, we keep our fingers crossed and safe to go and be there with you. I'm happy for your insights, Denison. Okay, let's hear more. Please unmute yourself and share your insights. What do you take for yourself from this meeting?
We need to have.
I think I know what to do. Oh, Gerardo, go ahead.
Yes, Tatiana, please go.
I think what I've heard is very helpful in terms of creating and achieving these club success plans. So I know what to do now. I'm going to get together with my club officers tomorrow or another day this week, and we will finalize everything and get everything done by the deadline. Thank you very much, Olga. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I'm happy you're motivated. Other people, please. Gerardo, you started.
I mean, yes, of course. From my side is that different ways to fulfill it, because there are also always new ideas, and actually learn even new ideas about attracting people, even by the things that you were commenting, how are done in different clubs. And at the end, this is always a learning process for all. So that is really amazing. So thank you very much for that, Olga, and for this Educational Monday. Really appreciate it, and always wonderful to see such kind of workshops from your side. And of course, yes, preparing the Zoom cream for the next Bahamas convention.
Okay, Marzena, thank you, Gerardo. What about Marzena's insights? What do you
Yeah,
think?
for me, it was very interesting to go through it just like step by step. And it's definitely helpful before the meeting tomorrow, because I have also additional ideas to what I had already in mind. And I know my team will also have additional ideas. So I think that in the end, it will be a very comprehensive club success plan. So I'm thankful for that, because it's actually just going through it with other people first, it gives me time to also think and to see how do I present it to my team and how do I stimulate the conversation around that. So thank you very much, Olga. That was very, very useful.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
Olga, thank you very much. I just dropped by chance, and I'm happy that I always find somebody who is not thinking my way. Thank you, Gerardo, because we love each other, but sometimes we have to. If we love each other, sometimes we have to crash each other. By the way, about the convention in Bahamas, I hope that we will repeat our Polish success. As you probably know, the Polish guy is a champion this year, and in Bahama will be probably the next one. So keep fingers crossed.
Zbyszek, this is really strategic leadership. Thank you. Thank you. Martyna, what are your insights? Can you speak? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I can. Sorry. So for my insights is more like understanding, because basically I was not a part of it that last year the plan was made. So for me to go page by page, it was very useful. I have a couple of ideas, yet this week I'm planning to fill some kind of part and to share with my board and look up what they filled and then to register it. So yeah, so a lot of information, but yet useful information.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Justyna, can you speak now? Are you already home?
Yes, I'm already home after long journey, and it will not be a surprise for anyone else, but it was very beneficial for me as well to see this document and the other way how we should see it, as I joined one of our Toastmaster clubs literally 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah, I think it was June or May, something like that. And all those things which are connected to the organization and even those papers, documents and everything, it's some kind of black magic for me, and sometimes I feel like a child in the fog. So that training and those steps by step and what we should take into the consideration was very beneficial for me, and for that very big thank you.
I'm glad. Thank you, Justyna. Dariusz, what about final sentence from you? What do you take from it for yourself? Can we hear from you? Dariusz, are you with us? Maybe he will unmute himself in a moment. And how about Eytuar? Almaty.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really enjoyed, especially I really like the part about community values, about the way that some officers may have different values, and it's better to maybe discuss it before in the beginning. Yeah, that way less conflicts and more
Cooperation.
Cooperation. Yeah, so thank you very much. It was really useful. Really hope to finish our Club Success Plan this week. Yeah.
Okay, I keep my fingers crossed for you. And Francesco, some words from you.
Thank you very much, Olga. Very interesting and very clear. And it reminded me that the Club Success Plan, like many other types of success plan is a tool to predict the future. Because if you actually write down what you want to make happen at the end of the year, there are very good chances that that is the future that is going to happen. So a great tool, a great explanation of the tool, and a magic tool also.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy hearing the final summaries from you. I wish you a fantastic Toastmasters year, and I invite you for other educational Mondays. May your club success plans be very good and ambitious, and let's work hard to fill it up with real action and to complete them. That's what I wish to all of us. Great time for me as well. I gained a lot of ideas from you. I understood what went wrong in my own club with the new club officers, and I'm highly motivated to improve the situation. I hope to see you during our next educational Mondays, and thank you for tonight. Good night. Or bye-bye if it's already day.
Thanks a lot, Olga.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.